this issue in Springfield, Ohio with the Haitians. They did a great job of it. It's one of the reasons he was elected and JD was elected vice president. And this was one of the first orders of business to say no more temporary protected status for these people. Go home. It's time. Get out. And now they've been backed by a 6-vote majority of the U.S. Supreme Court, and the Democrats are freaking out.
6-3.
I'm going to give you some of the reaction that's coming in. Okay, first, the New York Attorney General. Temporary protected status for these people. Go home. It's time. Get out. And now they've been backed
6
by
conservatives, 3 libs.
Vote majority of the U.S. Supreme Court, and the Democrats are freaking out.
The
I'm
wokies.
going to give you some of the reaction. Elected vice president, and this was one of the first orders of business to say no more temporary protected status for these people. Go home. It's time. Get out. And now they've been backed by a 6-vote majority of the U.S. Supreme Court, and the Democrats are freaking out. I'm going to give you some of the reaction that's coming in. Okay, first, the New York Attorney General, Letitia James. She's a big Trump fan, as you know. Right,
The sarcasm. Yeah, she's funny, bro. The sarcasm.
By a 6.
The sarcasm is good.
Majority of the U.S. Supreme Court, and the Democrats are freaking out.
Tish James is one of the wokest attorney generals.
Okay,
she's one of the
wokest.
She's one of the wokest attorney generals.
Writes, quote, these, and now they've been
very anti-Trump.
By a 6-vote majority of the U.S.
She's unhealthily anti-Trump. You can be reasonably anti-Trump, but she's unhealthily anti-Trump. Crazy.
Temporary protected status for these people. Go home. It's time. Get out. And now they've been backed by a 6-vote majority of the U.S. Supreme Court, and the Democrats are freaking out. I'm going to give you some of the reaction that's coming in. Okay, first, the New York Attorney General, Letitia James. She's a big Trump fan, as you know. Writes, quote, the Supreme Court's decision to strip TPS from Haitian and Syrian communities is a betrayal of our values.
350K Haitians. 6K Syrians.
Made to protect people from displacement and harm. I'll never stop fighting for our immigrant neighbors and loved ones. Fight all you want, you lost. Go ahead and fight. You're a loser AG of New York State. Your opinion means nothing. What matters is the 6-justice majority in the U.S. Supreme Court that just overrules your argument.
Yep.
So go ahead and whistle into the wind, madam. No one's listening. Representative Seth Moulton, this guy, I had enough of this guy. This is the guy, remember, tried to sound reasonable on boys and girls sports. Like, I have 4 daughters, it's just a question of fairness. And then as soon as he got beaten up by the left, he completely reversed himself like the you-know-what that he is. Here's his latest. Donald Trump's Supreme Court has ended legal protections for tens of thousands of Haitian and Syrian migrants rather than protect the hardworking families that contribute to our communities. Please. Trump's justices are sending them back to the same places they fled. Democrats need to reform the court to preserve our rights and protect TPS families. I mean, that is what a growing segment of the progressives want to do. Reform the court. What they mean by that is add seats to dilute the right-wing majority.
Trash.
They're not as radical as those 3 Democrat socialists who were elected in New York last night. Well,
she's referring to Daria Liza Avila Chevalier. She's referring to Daria Liza. She's referring to Daria Liza Avila Chevalier, Brett Lander, and Claire Valdez. She's referring to those 3.
Tens of thousands of Haitian and Syrian migrants, rather than protect the hardworking families that contribute to our communities.
The pro-abolition of ICE people.
Justices are sending them back to the same
very woke.
They fled. Democrats need to reform the court to preserve our rights and protect TPS families. I mean, that is what a growing segment of the progressives want to do, is reform the court. What they mean by that is add seats to dilute the right-wing majority. Okay, they're not as radical as those 3 Democrat socialists who were elected in New York last night. Well, they weren't elected; they won the primaries, but they're going to be elected because there's no meaningful opposition for
easy
Dems
path
in
to
New York.
Congress. Yeah,
They're not
crazy.
as radical as those DSAs, but they are.
Democratic
They're on the same
Socialists
path.
of America.
It's, different shades of red, meaning commie. We're not going to pack the Supreme Court, you loon, because you're losing now. You used to win all the
Loon
time.
is short for lunatic, for those who don't know. And commie is short for communist, for people who don't know.
Primaries, but they're going to be elected because there's no meaningful opposition for Dems in New York. They're not as radical as those DSAs, but they're on the same path.
The Talips, the Omars.
Different shades of red, meaning commie. We're not going to pack the Supreme Court, you loon, because you're losing now. You used to win all the time.
LOON,
When it's a Dem majority, you win a lot more as a Dem. We're not going to pack the Supreme Court, you loon, because you're losing now. You used to win all the time. When it's a Dem majority, you win a lot more as a Dem. What would he have said if Republicans wanted to pack the court? That never happened. Republicans haven't proposed nightmare things like that over and over and over the way the Democrats have, because they tend to want to conserve things. That's generally the way conservatives view institutions and our country. Elizabeth Warren, also known as Chief Lies-A-Lot or Pocahontas. The Supreme Court is letting Trump ignore laws set by Congress and send hardworking legal immigrants, are they, into imminent danger in Haiti, Syria, and other violent countries. It's horrific. This decision is a disaster for the rule of law and a disaster for thousands of families. I mean, it's not a disaster for thousands of American families. Illegal immigrants. Are they? Or is letting Trump ignore laws set by Congress and send hardworking legal immigrants, are they,
certain ones are,
into
to be fair.
imminent danger in Haiti, Syria, and other violent countries. It's horrific. This decision is a disaster for the rule of law and a disaster for thousands of families. I mean, it's not a disaster for thousands of American families.
Words.
I mean, I'm sorry they have to go back to Haiti and Syria. I wouldn't want to go there either, but I'm not Haitian, I'm not Syrian.
Words. Same.
Thank God above, I'm a United States citizen. I get to stay here.
Yep. Same.
I'm sorry they have to go home to the countries in which
from which
they were born
they
and
emanated.
raised. Like, she's acting like we're shipping them off to Siberia and to some work camp. You need to go back home now.
Yep.
Your all expenses paid vacation in the United States, courtesy of the American taxpayers,
this OVA
has now come
over.
to a conclusion.
Discontinued.
Goodbye. That's all
Ceased.
Trump said. And this is the meltdown. Chuck Schumer. In a cruel and inhumane decision, the Supreme Court just turned its back on more than 300,000 Haitians.
350K to be precise.
To protect people when returning home is unsafe. Haiti and Syria remain unsafe today. Instead of showing basic humanity, Donald Trump and this court have chosen fear, chaos, and cruelty. Okay, the U.S. Supreme Court doesn't choose cruelty. They decide whether they have the power to review something or not. And if the answer is yes, then they apply established legal standards for statutory or other interpretation. And then they determine whether someone has run afoul of the law. That's all they've done here. There's no independent judgment that asylum is good or bad, Haitians, Syrians are good or bad. None of the stuff I said about culture, none of that. That is for a president to decide. He's an elected leader.
And DHS too, the Department of Homeland Security. They have the unchecked statutory authority to send people on in the TPS program back to their places of birth or homeland as they see fit. If they want to cease the program, they can do this. If they want to continue it, they can. But the courts, the courts won't. They don't have the ability to prevent the president or the POTUS or the executive branch from sending back or from ceasing the program or continuing the program, yeah, they don't have that ability. The president has the unchecked statutory authority to do as he sees fit.
Home has been safe. Haiti and Syria remain unsafe today. Instead of showing basic humanity, Donald Trump and his court have chosen fear, chaos, and cruelty. Okay, the U.S. Supreme Court doesn't choose cruelty. They decide whether they have the power to review something or not. And if the answer is yes, then they apply established legal standards for statutory or other interpretation, and then they determine whether someone has run afoul of the law. That's all they've done here. There's no independent judgment that asylum is good or bad, Haitians, Syrians are good or bad. None of the stuff I said about culture, none of that. That is for a president to decide. He's an elected leader. He faces the voters. SCOTUS doesn't.
True.
That's all they did. So, this is just an attempt to undermine faith in the judiciary at its highest level by someone who has been threatening the Supreme Court for a long, long time. Chuck Schumer. You gotta be ashamed of yourself. Here you go. More and more and more. And they will be, of course, aided and abetted in all this misinformation about how it's just a cruel Supreme Court and a racist President Trump and a racist Supreme Court for that matter because they didn't take issue
with no
the
evidence,
quotes,
baseless,
the dogs,
the baseless claims
by the media, by compliant media.
of
And I'll give you
racism,
one example. Sometimes as I'm getting ready for the show, I will put on YouTube
of
TV
anti-black
and I'll check it to
racism,
see, how big issues that are breaking are being covered. And
crazy.
I meandered over to MS Now. I don't even know who this
Certain
person
people say
is,
BS
but
now.
here's
I
the
like
coverage I was treated to,
the name
shortly before we came on
the
today.
critics give MS Now, because there's a lot of BS, a lot of manipulation, propaganda, nonsense, drivel, hogwash,
misinformation about how it's just a cruel Supreme Court and a racist President Trump,
a lot
and a racist
of
Supreme Court for that matter because they didn't
untruthful
take
things
issue
get
with the
said
president's quotes,
on
the dogs, by the media, by compliant media.
on
I'll give you one
BS
example.
Now. So
Sometimes as I'm getting ready for the show, I will put on YouTube TV and I'll just check in to see
it deserves
how big issues
the
that are
name.
breaking
It
are
does
covered.
deserve
And
the name. It
I
is
meandered
an
over to
it is
MS Now.
it is
I don't even
an
know who this
apropos
person is,
name.
but here's
There's
the
a lot
coverage
of
I was
manipulation.
treated to, shortly before we came on today.
The relevant group here is all TPS countries, all of which are non-white. And that makes its way into Justice Kagan's dissent, where she says
Kagan is a
Haitians are
lib.
black,
Kagan is one of the
Norwegians
lib
and Swedes, not so much.
justices.
The references of
Kagan,
disease and
Sotomayor,
are shot
and
through with racial
Ketanji Brown
stereotypes and
Jackson.
tropes.
They're
It is hard
the
to
three
imagine
lib
the statements being
justices
made today of
in the
any
SCOTUS.
white community. And that just stands in such stark contrast, I think, to the decision
The Supreme
that 6
Court of the
justices
United
of the Supreme Court
States.
today made. And so much. The references of filth, disease, and primitiveness are shot through with racial stereotypes and tropes. It is hard to imagine. The relevant group here is all TPS countries, all of which are non-white. And that makes its way into Justice Kagan's dissent, where she says Haitians are black, Norwegians and Swedes.
Not
so
all
much.
Haitians
The
are black
references of
though.
filth,
Just
disease, and
Haitian.
primitiveness are shot through with racial stereotypes
There's-
and tropes.
there are
It is hard to imagine the
multiple
statements being
races
made today
of people who
any
live
white community.
that live
And that
in
just stands
Haiti,
such stark
that
contrast,
were
I
born
think, to
in
the
Haiti.
decision that
So
6 justices into Justice Kagan's dissent, where she says
yeah,
Haitians
the
are black,
equating of
Norwegians and Swedes,
a nationality
not so
to
much.
race
The
is
references
crazy.
of filth,
Haitian
disease,
is
and
not even a
primitiveness
race;
are
it is a
shot through with
nationality.
racial stereotypes and tropes. It is hard to imagine
Sweden
the
is not
statements being made
a
today
race.
of
Sweden
any
is
white
not
community.
a race;
And that
it
just
is a
stands in such stark
nationality.
contrast, I think, to
There
the
are
decision
multiple races of
Justice
people
Kagan's dissent, where she
that
says
were born in
Haitians are
Sweden,
black,
that live in
Norwegians and
Sweden.
Swedes, not so
I know
much.
this
The references
this
of
dude
filth,
I
disease,
went
and
to college
primitiveness
with,
are
this
shot
dude
through with
I
racial
used
stereotypes
to
and tropes.
play
It is hard to
basketball
imagine
with
the statements being made
in
today
the rec
of
center.
any white
He's
community.
black.
And that
He
just stands
was
in
born
such
in
stark
Sweden, bro.
contrast, I think, to the decision that 6 justices into Justice
Not
Kagan's dissent, where she says
Caucasians
Haitians
are not
black,
the only
Norwegians
subgroup
and
of
Swedes,
people who
not so much. The references of filth, disease,
of
and
Swedish
primitiveness are shot
born
through
people.
with racial stereotypes and tropes. It is hard to imagine the
Caucasians
statements being made
Caucasians
today
are
of
not
any
the only
white
subgroup
community.
of
And that just
Swedish
stands in
born
such stark
people.
contrast, I think, to into Justice Kagan's dissent, where she says Haitians are black, Norwegians and Swedes, not so much. The references of filth, disease, and primitiveness are shot through with racial stereotypes and tropes.
Here we go with the wokery, the wokery, the wokeness, the
And
wokeism.
that just stands in such
Here we
stark
go.
contrast, I think, to the decision that 6 justices of this Supreme Court today made in saying that none of the statements out of the mouth of Trump or Christie No were overtly racial enough to lend themselves to an equal protection claim on behalf of the Haitian immigrants that were contesting the termination of temporary protected status for their country.
Lisa Rubin, thank you so much for breaking all of that down. Some of those quotes, I've heard them all before. They're sometimes they're heartbreaking to have to listen to again, frankly, but thankfully we have more time to talk about all of this. Everyone is staying with me. We have another big decision that we have to dig into.
Are you an idiot? My team tells me she's named Antonia Hilton. I've never heard of this person before, ever,
Same.
and it's
Me
obvious
neither.
why. Don't get too attached. I'm sure she won't be making it. Why are you talking about how heartbreaking the quotes are? Fuck off. When no one's paying you for your opinion in the middle of the day on MSNBC, over there they're actually still pretending to be news during the day. Did you know that? They actually want you to believe that these are news anchors, straight news anchors during the daytime on MS Now. Well, that's... You're heartbroken? What? Get it together, Antonia. Her aunt is Soledad O'Brien. My team just sent me that. Her aunt is Soledad O'Brien. Yeah, sensing a pattern here. I love that they're zeroing in on Norway and Sweden. How dare, like we would take immigrants from there. Have you been to Norway or Sweden? We were there in June of 2024, literally 2 years ago. You could eat off the sidewalks. They are so clean. I mean, Norway in particular is like...
Yo, I need to go to Norway and Sweden before my passport expires. It expires in August of next year, of 2027.
As clean can get. Everybody spends their time outdoors, even though it's 0 degrees most of the year there. And
it will have to be renewed.
Sweden too. Sweden's had an immigrant problem. Most of their crime is attributed to the immigrants.
Summer after.
Now they're deporting. Now they've stopped for a while now importing. But
in late August of next year.
They tried the same experiments that we did under Joe Biden. Problem. Most of their crime is attributed to the immigrants, and now they're cracking down on them. Now they're deporting.
I've never visited Norway or Sweden.
But they're suffering some of the same problems we are. They tried the same outdoors, even though it's 0 degrees most of the year there.
Wow.
I love that they're zeroing in on Norway.
Frigid.
How dare, like we would take immigrants from there. Have you been to Norway or Sweden? We were there in June of 2024, literally 2 years ago.
Yep.
You could eat off the sidewalks. They are so clean.
Wow.
I mean, Norway in particular is like, it's got the fjords, it's got water that you could splash all over your face and immerse your newborn baby in, unlike where I grew up going to my grandparents' boatyard on the Hudson River. But
Merci
Norway
beaucoup.
is as clean can get. Everybody spends their time outdoors, even though it's 0 degrees most of the year there. And it's pristine. Sweden too. Sweden's had an immigrant problem. Most of their crime is attributed to the immigrants, and now they're cracking down on them. Now they're deporting. Now they've stopped for a while now importing. But they're suffering some of the same problems we are, because they tried the same experiments that we did under Joe Biden. And
For Leiden.
We're following
the open door policy.
And allowing all these
lenient
refugees to go, and so-called refugees to go.
Humane policy.
And suffering the same consequences. So it's not about skin color. There are plenty
of
like native, whatever, Norwegians and Danes for that matter, and Swedes who aren't white.
Yeah.
Who've been immigrated, with different families over the years, who have grown up in that culture and have the same values as the others do. But these whole countries, like Haiti, is a shithole. I'm sorry, that's why the people don't want to be there. It's not because the people are black that it's a shithole. Obviously not. We have a very large black population in the United States. Yep. Don't make the United States a shithole. This isn't about the race of the people. It's about the country, the customs, and the culture. Sorry. The way it is.
This invalidates what the wokies have been saying. The Jesse Dollamores, the majority reports, all these other people, certain other people on the left, the wokies. It invalidates what these people have been saying. They're saying she's racist. She didn't mention race. She didn't target any racial group of people. She didn't say black Haitians. She didn't make it seem like black Haitians are inferior or anything like this, bro. So to say she's racist is really mendacious, manipulative, untruthful, baseless, groundless, false. Yeah, it is trash, disgraceful. Yeah, the people who brazenly lie on her name just because they politically disagree with her should be ashamed of themselves. They should give sincere apologies, but they won't because they are goofy. Don't get it twisted. I am no longer a fan of Megyn Kelly. She said certain things that really sickened me, like the remark that the people on the boat, all of the people on the boat, on the narco-terrorism boat should be killed. All of them should be offed. It was crazy what she said, bro. Evil, merciless, remorseless. Yeah, it was nuts, bro. It was really nuts. Kill all of them with no evidence of criminality or narco-terrorism. There was no evidence to prove the 11 people or however many. There were 11 on one boat. To kill all of the people on a boat, one of the boats, with no evidence of criminality, illegality, wrongdoing, violation of the law. To kill all of these people with no, before they go to trial is crazy, bro. It is a violation. It is a violation, bro. She didn't give an F, bro. She did not give an F. So yeah, I had to fall back, but she's cooking in this video, though. In this part, when it comes to this TPS stuff, she is cooking. It is what it is. You can get mad. You can get livid. These woke people, you can be frustrated, angry, fuming, whatever, but you can't dispute the truth, bro. There's no way you can refute the truth, bro. People can get up in arms and be apoplectic, but the truth is the truth. It is what it is.
Whatever, Norwegians and Danes, for that matter, and Swedes.
Truth is not racism.
Immigrated, with different families over the years, who have grown up in that culture and have the same values as the others do. But these whole countries, like Haiti, is a shithole. I'm sorry, that's why the people don't want to be there. It's not because the people are black that it's a shithole. Obviously not. We have a very large black population in the United States. They don't make the United States a shithole. This isn't about the race of the people. It's about the country, the customs, and the culture.
Behavior.
Sorry.
Morality, actions, rectitudes,
and all
integrity.
that's bullshit anyway, because Elena Kagan doesn't want a bunch of immigrants from Cuba, even though they're all brown.
Cuba.
She doesn't want them because they're going to vote Republican. That's why Cuban Americans tend to be the most Republican among Republicans, and certainly among Hispanics. That's why that's the one country they're like, oh, I don't know about that. They're not talking about making Cuba the 51st state. It's only Puerto Rico, D.C., the places they can control in terms of, left-leaning politics. So whatever. Spare me. Here's one more coming in. Representative Summer Lee.
From PA, the congresswoman of PA.
Squad,
she used to be in the squad. She's no longer in the squad. She's no longer a member of the DSA. Summer Lee, she shares a lot of the same opinions that the DSA members hold.
She's a squad. Either she's on the squad or squad light. This extremist Supreme Court just gave Trump the green light to block asylum seekers at the border, which again is a good thing. That was the first decision. And TPS protections for Haitians and Syrians. People fleeing danger deserve compassion, not cruelty.
Real compassion, yes.
We gave it to them for many, many, many years. Summer, perhaps given the nature of your name, you understand the that there is a season
Bars.
for all behaviors.
Yep.
And allowing people to come into your country to flee danger is such a season. Does the season go on beyond 15, 16 years? I feel like it's kind of over. I feel like
It is
no
over.
season lasts more than a few months.
Facts. 3
At
months.
most. People fleeing danger deserve compassion. Yes, and we gave it to them. We
The
gave it to
T
them for
in
many, many, many
TPS
years.
is temporary. This
Perhaps
means
given the nature of your name, you
it
understand
will come
that-
to an
that there's a
end
season
at some point.
for all behaviors.
It won't
And
last
allowing people to come
forever.
into your
This
country to flee
isn't
danger is
perpetual,
such a season.
eternal,
Does the
forever.
season go on
T
beyond
doesn't
15,
mean
16
perpetual,
years?
eternal,
I feel
or
like it's
forever.
kind of over.
It
I
means
feel like no season lasts more than a few months, at most.
it will last
People
for a
fleeing
certain
danger deserve
period of
compassion,
time,
not
then
cruelty. We must
cease,
reform
then
and
discontinue.
expand the court immediately. God, these people are. Your name, you understand that there is a
It
season.
is, the period
for all
is supposed
behaviors.
to be
And
6
allowing people
months,
to come into your country
12
to flee
months,
danger is such a
or
season.
18
Does
months.
the season go on
No
beyond
longer
15,
than
16 years? I feel
a
like
year
it's
and
kind
a
of
half,
over.
bro.
I feel like no season lasts more than a
Temporary.
few months.
Not permanent,
most.
not forever.
People
Not
fleeing danger
5,
deserve
not 10
compassion,
years,
not
not
cruelty.
20,
We must reform
not 30,
and
not 30,
expand
not 40,
the court
not
immediately.
50.
God, these people are so dumb. She's from Pennsylvania. It's tough. And most people fleeing danger deserve compassion, not cruelty. We must reform and expand. the
Real
court
compassion,
immediately.
not woke
God, these
compassion.
people are so dumb. She's from Pennsylvania. It's tough. And now my team tells me Antonia Hilton, who was so heartbroken at hearing those quotes, she went to Harvard. I mean, honestly, like, danger deserve compassion, not cruelty. Yes, and we gave it to them. We gave it to them for many, many, many years. Summer. Perhaps given the nature of your name, you understand that there is a season for all behaviors. And allowing people to come into your country to flee danger is such a season. Does the season go on beyond 15, 16 years? I feel like it's kind of over. I feel like no season lasts more than a few months, at most. People
It
fleeing
makes
danger deserve
it makes
compassion,
sense for the
not
TPS to happen after the earthquake in 2010 happened in Haiti. After the earthquake befell Haiti in 2010, the TPS came to fruition. It makes sense for the TPS to happen, but yeah, the TPS, it wasn't intended to. The purpose of it was not to let people stay in the program for 30, 40, 20, 30, 40 years. Nah, like yeah. This, if you stay 20, 30, 40 years, this is permanent stuff, not temporary. This is, you become a permanent temporary resident. Yeah, you become something different. Nah. Yeah, bro. It is crazy, bro. There is nuance to this, though. There is a balance to this. It is crazy in Haiti currently. It is very unsafe. That is true. What a lot of lefties are saying, what a lot of people, periods, are saying. It is very unsafe. There's a lot of it is very unstable at the moment. Very perilous, very dangerous. But the TPS doesn't mean permanent at the same time. The solution that can satisfy the Trump side and the pro-TPS side is this. Eliminate the TPS program altogether. Eliminate it. Gets rid of the loopholes. The loophole is the TPS starts. you start TPS over and over again after the a certain amount of time elapses, you restart the TPS, and then after another certain period, after another certain amount of years, you restart it, then you repeat, and then that is the loophole. It gets rid of that. Also, you get rid of the loopholes. You get rid of that, and you create a pathway to permanent residency for the people who are upstanding citizens, who are working, who are not committing crimes, who are following the laws, who are abiding by the law, who are not menaces to society. You create a pathway to permanent residency for those people, those particular people, this particular subgroup of the TPS people, TPS Haitians, TPS Syrians, etc. TPS Haitians, TPS Syrians, TPS other people from other countries, etc. There's a real vetting process that they have to go through. They have to pass background checks. They have to prove continuous employment. These things, that can work. It is easy and hard at the same time. It is easy because it is a single bit. It is easy because one bill will be written. One short bill will be written. All you need is a simple majority vote. You need more than half of the. You need more than half of the House. You need more than half of the Senate. Also, the POTUS, the president, the president could sign this bill into law. He could sign it. He could sign the written bill into law. After it passes, then it will go into effect the same day he writes the written bill into law. This will remove the TPS program immediately. This will also, people, the TPS people, they will be allowed to start the pathway to permanent residency process. They will be able to start this process once the bill becomes an active law. Once the bill goes into effect, once it becomes a law, once it becomes an active law, the TPS people will be able to start the process, and the TPS program will be eliminated. So nobody, the people who, immigrants who want to come to this country, who wants to enter this country in the future, they want to be able to be in the TPS program, it will be over. Because lots of craziness has happened. A lot of people have stayed for too long. It is temporary. It isn't. People are not supposed to be in this program for 15, 20 years. I get it though. A lot of people have built families. They have careers. They have their kids go to schools here. They're involved in their communities. It would be crazy to send those. It does sound harsh to send those people to send those particular people back to something unsafe, risky, crazy, perilous, all of these things. But the T is temporary, so it has to be respected. But there's validity to both sides. There's certain people. There are logical people on both sides. There are logical arguments on both sides. So we have to be fair to both. We have to be fair across the board. But what Megyn is saying is not wrong. It isn't off. It isn't inaccurate. It is on point. It is what it is. It is the truth. It is the truth. It is the effing truth.
Most people fleeing danger deserve compassion, not cruelty. We must reform and expand the court immediately. God, these people are so dumb. She's from Pennsylvania. It's tough. And now my team tells me Antonia Hilton, who was so heartbroken at hearing those quotes, she went to Harvard. I mean, honestly, like, I put my Syracuse University degree up against these Harvard morons any day of the week. They actually just gave me a solid liberal arts education. They didn't try to indoctrinate me there, nor at my law school. I was in college at a different time. There were a couple of incidents, but certainly not enough to make me a far left, pinko commie. Unlike Antonia, who feels, she's clearly new to the business. I'm going to give you a little lesson. Included quotes, the context of which is not rendered in full, appearing in a dissent. So it's the losing side, which obviously have disputed quotes, the context of which is not rendered full, whether they are or they aren't. You can say, which obviously has an axe to grind. You might want to think twice about expressing. Again, it is one of the bright spots right now in American politics. When I go to bed at night, I'm feeling bad about the country and but I do feel grateful for the Supreme Court because I've lived through too many years where we had a not great one. At night, I'm feeling bad about the country and the direction it's headed in, or whatever, the political infighting. Think about the Supreme Court and I feel better. I guess that doesn't say very good things about me in my nighttime dreams. But I do feel grateful for the Supreme Court because I've lived through too many years where we had a not great one. And just in general, problematic judiciary. And it's wonderful to know that they're there.
I forgot to say why it is hard. It will be hard
I want to give you a couple of updates before we bring in our CP, including.
I did say why it was easy for the elimination of TPS and the creation of the pathway to permanent residency for the TPS people to happen.
As always, we really do value your feedback.
I forgot to say the reason it is hard. The reason it is hard is because of the fact that a lot of people on both sides of the political aisle are afraid to go against their own party.
With your credit card.
They are afraid of being seen as traitorous, perfidious, disloyal.
Dick Durbin and Roger Marshall want to change the nation's payment system to benefit
the Republicans, certain Republicans, they're afraid of being seen as fake Republicans, wokies, pro illegal immigration, pro blanket legalization.
Corporate megastores cut corners on credit card processing,
pro
routing
allowing
transactions over cheaper, untested
people
networks
to
with
come in
greater
with
security
no
and fewer
vetting
protections.
process, with
Find out more
no
for yourself at guardyourcard.com and consider telling Congress to guard your card.
Lemonade is changing, Sheriff.
with no background checks,
Your claim handled
with
before
no
you
background
put your
checks,
phone back
with
in your
no
pocket. Sign up at lemonade.com.
requirement, with no requirement of proof of
Do you need your
continuous
printing project shipped
employment.
quickly? We offer rush production,
Nah.
overnight
Yeah.
shipping, and 5-star service
You,
every
they
single
wouldn't
time.
be
Hi, I'm
pro
Joe from Best Printing
blankets
USA. You can
legalization
order
or
print from a lot
pro
of places, but just
letting
try getting
of
someone
illegals
on the phone
in
that
with
you
no
can
vetting
assist with your
process.
project. We've been
Nah.
in business since
They-
1989,
if you
and we
do
still
this,
pick up the
if you-
phone
if-
and help our customers every day.
if this
We double
solution
check every
happens in
detail
real
of your
life,
project before it goes on press to make sure that it comes out
yeah, they're
perfectly.
these TPS people. They would be vetted. They would have to pass background checks. They would have
Go to
to.
bestprintingusa.com and place your order
Yeah.
today. Oh, and don't
So-
forget to use the promo code below and get 20% off your order.
The blankets
And we
legalization
just had
claim
something
is
extraordinary happen. This is the
garbage.
new
On the lip side, the Democratic side, certain Democrats are afraid of being seen
cleared up
as
for his appeal with a
fake
bunch of
Democrats.
These, they're like these higher power,
disloyal Democrats.
very race-based lawyers, like one guy who was chief of staff for Benjamin. But you know, Megyn and most people fleeing danger deserve compassion, not cruelty. We must reform and expand the court immediately. God, these people are so dumb. She's from Pennsylvania. It's tough. And now my team tells me Antonia Hilton, who was so heartbroken at hearing those quotes, she went to Harvard. I mean, honestly, like, I put my Syracuse University degree up against these Harvard morons any day of the week. They actually just gave me a solid liberal arts education. They didn't try to indoctrinate me there, nor at my law school. I was in college at a different time. There were a couple of incidents, but certainly not enough to make me a far left, pinko commie. Unlike Antonia, who feels, I mean, she's clearly new to the business. I'm going to give you a little lesson. When you are playing the role, sweetheart, of a straight new tonight, I'm feeling bad about it. Right, see what you values as the others do, but these whole countries, like Haiti, is a shithole. I'm sorry, like that's why the
that was the end of this part of her broadcast. Bro. It is. The pressure to conform 100% with their side, their party, their team is all the way wild. It is heavy. It is super heavy, bro. So it will be hard for this to happen in real life, this solution, but it is a solution. It is a suggestion. Salutes to Megyn Kelly in this case. She was being based in this. What she said was nothing but the truth, bro. You people can hate it, people can detest it, but she was cooking, bro. It sounds harsh, but it is needed. It is necessary in order for stuff to get better. They must stop equating everything they disagree with to racism. The word loses its meaning, its sting, its power. If you call everything racist, then nothing is racist. If a real case of racism happens, then the person who's saying they are he or she is a victim of racism won't be believed because it has been used so much. It has been weaponized, used as a weapon to silence people they disagree with. Stupid, crazy, odious, terrible, trash, cruddy, crummy, all of these things. So you gotta chill. About to dip. Y'all be smooth. Y'all, if y'all are in very hot cities, y'all stay hydrated. Y'all make sure y'all ACs are on, bro. Y'all stay cool. Peace.